Let's talk about the West more broadly. What is the impact of President Trump's rise, triumph, and victory for the United Kingdom and for the rest of Europe?
Well, let's talk about the state of the United Kingdom. I mean, we have people who are being arrested for saying things the government doesn't want said. My good friend Tommy Robinson is still in prison now, a political prisoner. And let's compare that to what's going on over here. So Donald Trump gets into office. What does he do? He pardons the January 6th political prisoners. Fantastic. And as you point out, there's still work to be done there. But this is a bold move by a politician who's saying, I'm not going to be beholden to what the narrative is put forward by the mainstream media. I'm not going to be beholden to my peers and contemporaries around me. And there are certain Republicans who would object to the J6 as being pardoned and released. He says, I'm going to do what's right. Now, flip back to the United Kingdom. I've got friends who've been arrested for sharing things on Facebook, for retweeting things on X, and of course, as I mentioned, Tommy Robinson for releasing a documentary that contained information the state did not want getting out. Now, our politicians are petrified. So even the ones that think they're conservative, they won't even meet with Tommy Robinson. They'll say, no, his brand is too toxic. I can't do that. So we don't have anyone yet strong enough with the political will to say, I don't care what the legacy media says. I don't care what my peers around me say. I'm going to do what's right. That's what I'm praying for. I'm praying for a strong, courageous leader. And so therefore it has to be someone founded in the faith. People are pointing out leaders like, well, is it Nigel Farage or Trump? Nigel Farage, I've worked with him for many years. He's a decent bloke. He got Brexit done. Thank God for that. But he's no Donald Trump because he doesn't have a Christian faith. We need a leader who's founded in Christian values to his very core, because that means they'll push beyond that ambition, that career drive, that wanting to be liked, and strive to do what is right, what's good, and what's true. That's what we're looking for. I don't know where that leader's going to come from, but when we look at what's happening in America, we can at least take a bit of that. We've always said that when America sneezes, England catches a cold, right? And we're already seeing the impact of the Trump effect, if you want to call it that, in that people are finding enthusiasm and they're feeling inspired for the first time in a long time. In the United Kingdom, things are dark, things are heavy. I've got friends who've been arrested for silently praying in their own heads, for goodness sake. That's, we're past free speech. It's thought crime that we're at in the UK right now. And so when people see what's happening in America, they say, we can turn things around. We can actually, the pendulum can swing back.
Yes, you can.
And it takes a vibe change, doesn't it? You have to change. We have to change. We can't wait on the government to do it for us. We, the people, have to change.
I love it. In closing here, what is your message to the pastors in this country on how to accelerate this transformation and lead it towards a revival to the ultimate purposes of leading people to Christ?
All comes back down to prayer. The reason that America has won is because America has been praying again. But winning the election, getting Donald Trump into office is only the first step. We've got to win back the entire of the West. And even just in these United States of America, there are still some states where babies are being killed on a daily basis. There's all kinds of evil going on. We have to continue to pray. We have to pray more. And that means that the pastors have to be bold. They have to be strong. The ones who were afraid to speak out on COVID, the ones who closed their churches, need to find courage. This Bishop, Marion Buddha, is a good example. She's still wearing a face mask in her avatar on Twitter. Have you noticed that? It's a virtue signaling, like, we are part of the establishment. Move away from that. Move towards Christ. Do what is countercultural. Do what is bound in the faith. And these pastors need to speak up and be bold and say, yes, Donald Trump is not perfect, but he's the man for the job, and look what he's doing. They need to say, we need to vote against these Democrats like Gavin Newsom, who are going to let the whole state burn down because of their politics. We've got to shift away. We've got to be unafraid of speaking on political issues, because the faith is political. It teaches us how to live good lives, and good and evil is objective. It's not based on what people around us think. When we've got a bishop at the pulpit saying, there are gay and trans children. No, there aren't. The Christian message is there aren't. You can't be a trans child. You are either born male or female. And if someone is saying that a child is trans, then they are indoctrinating that child into a harmful ideology where they'll end up with surgical mutilation, genital mutilation, and that's abhorrent. And there's no, the children are not gay. Some people in their lives struggle with same-sex attraction, but the church should be teaching them and helping them through that, not pushing them towards it. And I think, seeing that the pride flag is being removed from all US buildings and the US flag is being added back to them, it's a good sign that the time of pride is over. We're now entering the time of patriotism.
Calvin, you're terrific. You're welcome at all of our events. You have such a sharp way of presenting these topics and these issues. And praise the Lord, God voted early on July 13th in Butler, Pennsylvania, and now we are fulfilling that. Let us not forget it. Let us stay humble, and let us honor God in all that we do.